Hey guys, Brandon here again. It is a beautiful late September morning, and I wanted to go ahead and get that lettuce started in the soil blocks. It's going to get up into the 90s again today. In a month or two, it should start cooling down pretty consistently. So let's get started. All right, so I've got to dampen the soil here and get it ready for the soil blocks. We want this soil to be pretty damp so it can form the blocks that I want to make with it. Alright, and there are holes under this so the water can drain through a little bit. There's Morty checking out the neighborhood, making sure everything's where it should be. Okay, so our soil is just before sopping wet, which is what we want for the blocks. And this is just a normal potting mix for any container plant. You don't need to buy a fancy seed starting mix. Whatever you can find on the market that's relatively fine. That's why I use the sifter anyway, because there's still some hunks of wood and leaves and other junk in here that could help keep your seeds from getting any water. But this is pretty good. All right, I have these trays that I'm gonna put them in. Here's the actual soil blocker. It'll make 4 blocks at a time. Once you get better at doing this, it's a lot easier and goes faster, but I think it's way better than using plastic trays, and it is healthier for the plant in the long run. So a paint scraper here is for scraping off the excess soil on here so we have a nice even block. So you just kind of build it with a nice little foundation of soil, and then grab some more, push it in there. Just kind of push down into each block. Sorry, the dog is in the way. All right, keep pushing your extra dirt into those blocks. Once you feel like they're pretty full, go ahead and give it a scrape with the paint scraper. All right, push those down a little, clean up your sides, and you've got 4 blocks ready. I haven't done this in a while, so we'll see how this goes. These are good blocks. You see, I think I've got the dampness just right of the soil. It's just enough water in there. So I'm just gonna keep going with this and keep you guys updated. So I actually had to add more water to this so it would be a little bit clumpier, but see, there's some water coming out, but it stays together. So these were kind of falling apart just a little bit, but we got it now. Therapeutic work. Do enjoy gardening like this. Get your hands dirty a little bit, and then see the fruits of your labor just in a few weeks. Especially with lettuce, it grows so quickly. So this should be done in 20-25 days. if all goes well. All right, so this blocker piece keeps coming off of these little lips here and slowing me down, which is kind of disappointing because I haven't used this thing that much, not even a whole season. But I might just have to smack it with a hammer in a couple places. You can see there it's kind of bent, so I'll just do some of my own maintenance on it and see if that'll fix it. Okay, once my seeds are blocked and ready to germinate, I have a seed starting station that I've set up over here. Got the watering can, the lights. Those are just basic shop lights, but you just keep them close enough and it'll give it enough just for the start until we take it outside to harden it off. I've got a heater over here for when it gets colder, and then my fan for circulation because we don't want any fungus or other moldy buildup on our seed starts. And yes, I do plan on fixing up this wire mess. I don't want any safety hazards in here. So we're going to go ahead and do a Bib and romaine lettuce. Those have seemed to do really well here. And I've gotten these seeds from M.I. Gardener. I'll be sure to shout out his YouTube channel in the description. He's a great guy, great YouTube channel. Be sure to check him out. There's 2 trays with 45 and 1 with 40. So we've got plenty to put outside when it's ready. I couldn't get 5 more on one of these because of the spacing, but we got our vermiculite and our mister to keep everything moist. Are you ready to start seeding? Yeah. So once I've got the seeds placed, I like to put some vermiculite on top to help retain the moisture. They have to stay wet in order to germinate, so we're gonna mist them. Even though that soil was damp before I made the blocks, this will make sure that these seeds get covered with water. More vermiculite, pretty much all over the top to keep the seeds covered and moist. I don't worry about filling in the little dibbles. The vermiculite does that for me. And I say this is looking just about good and ready. And I'm trying my best to do 1 in each block without a toothpick. And it's going okay, but I might have to do some thinning out later. Just no problem. This will make sure that I have plenty of seed. And we'll just keep misting these for a few days until they start to sprout, and then we can bottom water from then on. This tray is finished. I will definitely be using a toothpick next time. These germinate really well, and I'm gonna have plenty of lettuce. Almost too many. That's what you want to do with the lettuce, is overseed. Because humans aren't the only ones that like lettuce. Also, little animals. And now that we don't have a fence, they might be a little bit more risky. We've got 3 trays of lettuce started and ready to germinate. That's 130 total, which is good because I can maybe fit 90 to 100 in that plot that I plan on fixing up, and we're bound to lose some. So I'll worry about turning on these lights once they sprout. And I'll get this fan going over here so that they can stay cool. I'll have to open and shut these doors during the day to keep this place ventilated. Nova's ready to go inside. So the heat of the day is setting in. It's already getting into the upper 80s. And this is the bed I've got to have finished in time for that lettuce. Just 150-foot bed. I've got about a week, maybe 10 days until I've got to get that lettuce out here. So I'm probably not going to get started on that today because, like I said, it's starting to get blazing out here. But we got the lettuce started. We know where it's going to go. Thanks again for joining me. I'll be sure to tune you in once we get that stuff in the ground. I've got plenty of other projects to work on, farming, fishing, and I'll be sure to keep you updated. All right. See ya.